interesting viewpoint. We all want to focus on food when we know full well that if you don't get enough sleep, your digestion goes to hell. If you're upset, digestion compromised. B12 receives more than its fair share of conversation in the vegan world and in the rest of the world. So remember that B12 deficiency was first discovered on people eating the standard Western diet. It's not a vegan problem. That cows and chickens and pigs and sheep take injections with B12 and eat food that is supplemented with B12 because they're all going deficient, living the kind of indoor, unnatural lifestyle that they are. It's been proven time and again that if you're B12 deficient and you eat a bunch of meat, it will have no positive effect on you. It won't help. It's been shown time and again to the point where eventually grains were enriched, grains and grain products, enriched with B12. Come on, if you're eating total cereal for breakfast or something like that, and you're eating some kind of bread at lunch that's been enriched with B12, and you're eating pasta or something of that sort at dinner that's been enriched with B12, you're supplementing with B12 3 times a day. It's not that your diet was so wonderful in B12, but you're taking supplements 3 times a day. To compare that level to someone who doesn't supplement and then say, well, where do you get your B12? Well, heck, ask them where do they get their B12. They're getting it from the supplements added to their food, not from the food itself. Taking people with low B12, put them on a fast for 3 weeks, check their B12 again, and their B12 levels are fine. They never took in any B12. What they got better at doing was absorbing the B12 that was being produced in their own body and that they were breathing in or being exposed to in any way they were. Minute portions. But absorption improved. That's got to have a positive effect on nutrition when your absorption improves. I almost always use sunlight as my example for nutrition problems because people understand with sunlight that if you get too much, you burn. If you go to Quito, Ecuador, on the equator, at 14,000 feet, on June 21st, at 7 in the morning, and lay out on the high rocks, naked, by high noon, you will have been hospitalized. You'll be crisp. More isn't better. That's not the answer. We've all heard of overtraining in fitness pursuits. More isn't better. We want to find that sweet spot where we get enough without getting too much. Getting too much is just as much a problem as not getting enough. Especially in the world of nutrition, where too much vitamin A or too much vitamin E or too much of any fat-soluble vitamin, too much of most minerals is deadly. I mean, that's not good. Different doctors say different things. Some doctors say 95%. Some doctors say 99%. Some doctors say 99.9% of all nutritional problems are problems of excess, not deficiency. And yet we're treating all the time with more, more, more. Where do you get your whatever it is? Take more. More would be better. When more is almost invariably the problem. You're getting too much of this, too much of that. Bless you. See, now that could start a continuous loop between us. I've always been looking for a way. Because now we're talking. Did you sign thank you? She didn't sign thank you. But once she signs thank you, now we're in serious trouble because you're talking to me and not. Bless your heart. You get ultraviolet light, A, B, and C, from the sun. It wanders its way through space in all directions, and a tiny little bit of it ends up hitting our planet, and a tiny little bit of that ends up hitting you, and a tiny little bit of that ends up penetrating our skin. Ultraviolet light penetrates your skin approximately a ½ inch deep before it just peters out. If I take this knife, Van, that's a knife. You call this a knife? That's not a knife. If I take this knife and I dig in about a ½ inch, what's the chance I'm going to hit blood?
Pretty high.
I think I'll reach blood. ½ inch. Okay, we all understand. This, it's about a girl's ½ inch. And that, it's about a boy's ½ inch. But ½ inch, however you do it, it's a huge difference between the knife up on the skin and the knife ½ inch deep. Or the rocks from the road ½ inch in, as various of us have found out this week. ½ inch. So I'm doing research because I need to know more about dialysis, because with increasing frequency, clients are coming to me on dialysis. It's just happening more and more. And finally, a medical doctor comes to me and he says, I want to do your program, but I'm on dialysis. So I know I can't eat any bananas because I'm on dialysis. Hence, I can't get the potassium out of my system because my urinary production is 0. I'm not like in trouble, I need a little help. I've got urinary output 0 per day. On a great day, just an amazingly good day, I might put out 50 cc's, which might as well be 0. But he says, I'm a doctor, I can't do your program. I know I can't do your program. Fruit's just loaded in potassium. And it's going to overload me, and I'm going to go into potassium failure, and I'm going to die, and I only go to dialysis twice a week. The day you go to dialysis, you feel like crap. The day you get out, the next day, you feel pretty good. Blood's clean. But by the end of the day, your blood's getting pretty dirty. Y'all would have peed 10 times. They didn't pee once. All that crap is in their blood. By the second day, they're barely functional. By the third day, they're saying, man, I really want to go to dialysis because I can't do anything else. I want to live, I'm going to dialysis.